Hey, beautiful people. My name is Nikat, and welcome to Nija Knows, a podcast aimed to empower and enlighten through real life stories. This journey called life is not always easy, but best believe I'm making it, laughing and loving along the way. Hey guys, welcome to Nija Knows. My name is Nikat. And this is my first podcast, my first episode. I'm super nervous, but very excited because I am stepping way out of my comfort zone. But we're going to make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? So this first episode is about eliminating fear. I figured this is a good place for me to start because even sitting here right now, just talking to, I do have my friend here, which I'm going to introduce her in a minute, but just talking to myself, basically, I am super nervous. And I feel a little bit of, pitter patter in my heart. It's beating a little fast. So this is a good place to start with everything going on in the world as well. The COVID-19 and, people's fears, that's a big thing right now. So I'm going to introduce my friend here, girl. Her name is Felicia. She's with me. Say hey.
Hey.
Yay. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, so this is going to be super casual, y'all. Very casual. Because I don't know what I'm doing, but we going to learn.
We're going to learn today.
Exactly. So, eliminating fear. I was, coming up with this podcast idea. It kind of popped up randomly as I was, thinking about some things and actually thinking about my mom and saying some things that we had talked about. And so this whole process, just getting to this point right here, is basically 2 years in the making. Why 2 years? Because it doesn't take that long to buy what you need and record.
Exactly.
But it was fear. Fear of rejection, fear of not knowing what the heck I'm doing because this is out of my comfort zone. I don't know anything about recording and
having an audience.
All those things were basically holding me back. So I have a notebook here that I've been writing and notes and, on my phone, and they're pretty much everywhere. Hey, everywhere, girl. In my drawer, you might go in my closet and find a Post-it note on one of my sweaters.
Hey,
you never know.
That's how we got to get it done.
But, it's basically fear that was holding me back at the end of the day. So, I basically, I have my things that I tell myself and things that I think about to try to get me out of that mode. Because fear, I think, is big for everybody. I know it's helped me back in a lot of areas in my life. So I think this is a really good place to start. To me, just talk about myself, basically, or people that I know. Felicia is here.
So hey, I got some fears. I got a lot of fears. Been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, one thing that I was, thinking about as I was writing this down was, when I turned 30, I had a list of things that I want to do. And the list wasn't just any random thing. It were things that I always was scared to do for one reason or another.
So you had a bucket list.
Basically, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm actually proud to say that I've knocked off probably about 3 or 4 things on that bucket list.
Progress.
But the first one on my list was motorcycles. It sounds super corny, but ever since I was a little girl, I can remember standing on the balcony at our house in Titusville, Florida, on the 2nd floor, seeing a motorcycle and just screaming because they scared me. I don't know why. I don't like loud noises. Maybe that's what it is.
It could be some people don't like fireworks.
Right. I don't like fireworks. I used to cry.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
After
yeah.
all these years,
even as an adult, it takes everything in me not to take off running. Somebody is after me because, girl, I can't. Y'all ready? Let's go.
So no 4th of July.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't need sparklers. I don't need none of that. Just leave me in the car. Y'all go ahead. I am perfectly okay with that. You know what I'm saying? So the motorcycle, was one of the things, I'm going to do it. So I joined the motorcycle club because, it was brand new and we're going to get our license. So that was my sole, initial purpose of doing it. Cause I felt like as a group for me, if other people are doing it,
comfortable.
Exactly. And I won't be as scared. At the end of the day, I still ended up taking the class by myself. So that was good for me, though.
Yes,
and I was super nervous. Exactly. I was sitting in the class. I could do the book stuff. I got that. But when you talk about getting on the motorcycle, and he gave me a little one.
completely different ball game.
He was like, I can tell. Let me give you the little bitty Harley. So, girl, my hands were shaking. I was nervous, but I got it. It was 3 days, but I got it. And I was so proud of myself that I could go 5 miles an hour in a straight line.
So here's a question. Would you get back on a bike today?
Well, see, what had happened was I was actually planning on buying a bike, right? But I found out I was pregnant, and that kind of stopped that. Now, I have gotten on a bike since then. I've only driven one maybe once or twice since I got my actual license. But I have gotten on the back of a bike.
Okay.
That part doesn't scare me anymore.
Good.
Yeah. So, a lot of that fear that I felt, has been common in other areas of my life. Now, that particular fear, yes, I conquered that.
You think it's completely eliminated. So you hear a motorcycle, you can get on one, and you feel nothing. You're good. You're confident.
Yeah, I actually like them. I like to listen to them. I like to watch them. I like to watch people ride.
Okay.
So, yeah, but, a lot of it was, girl, get up. Get up. Each time I dropped the bike, girl, get up. Because I wanted to walk away. Like, I'm done. I'm done with this. Like, I'm good. It's heavy, and, everybody else seems to be doing it okay, and I'm over here struggling, shaking and everything, trying to stay up. But, it was a lot of just talking myself through it. Basically, talking myself through it. You got it, girl. Just get up. Just get up. One more time. Just get up. You ain't dead. Get up. It's all right. Get up. You gonna get this license.
Girl. See, I love motorcycles. Absolutely love them. Absolutely. I want one. I can't even tell you how bad I want a motorcycle.
Really?
But my daughter, on the other hand, thinks it's the stupidest thing to do because she thinks that they're dangerous. It's the adrenaline for me. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I went skydiving.
Really?
Yes. 18,000 feet. When I tell you that was the best feeling. And was I scared? To an extent. But once you get up there and you actually look over, and it's like you're looking at, okay, this is it. I'm gone. I'm not going to see anybody anymore. But once you jump out of that plane, it almost feels like you are as close to God as you can be while you're here on this earth.
Right.
It's quiet. It's serene. It's amazing. You have to do it. You have to do it. That's the only thing I
see. Maybe I will. I won't say I won't. I won't say I won't.
Gotta try it.
It ain't on my bucket list, but we'll
put it on there.
But just even, you talking about that, describing that is a great way to feel, once you do conquer your fear, you know what I'm saying? It's that feeling like, dang it, I did it.
Because normally people think of jumping out of planes, oh my God, I'm falling. You know when you have dreams that you're falling, you think you're going to feel like that. And that was actually my initial fear. That was, oh my God, I'm just going to free fall. But it almost felt like the wind was cushioning you like it was a pillow. So you didn't feel like you were just plummeting to death.
So it was like, smack.
No.
It wasn't like that.
No. It was free. I think in my 36 years on this earth, that was probably the most free I ever felt.
Really? Really? Jumping out of a plane.
Yeah. And then I hit the ground and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm back. Back to reality. Yes, jumping out of a plane. Yeah. And we were only supposed to do 15,000 feet, but we ended up going up to 18,000 feet. That's the highest you can jump over on this side in Florida.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's pretty much how I felt with the motorcycle. Once I got it and they wrote my name on that little certificate and wrote my name on a little card and I could put it in my wallet.
Yes.
And I marched myself on up to the DMV.
Can I have my license, please?
Motorcycle license, please? And it was like, okay. And I got my name on there. Never have to get on a motorcycle again ever in life. Well, I do want to, but you know what I'm saying? I did it. I felt like satisfied because, oh, yes, I did it. I was so scared. All this time used to scream just looking at a motorcycle. Now I can get on one and actually drive it,
and see one and not freak out just by looking at it.
Right. So, a lot of it, again, like you said, once you conquer it, feeling that relief, that there's that initial, oh my God, what's going to happen? But once you just push through that and just keep going, you can get out. Homeschooling with this coronavirus, right?
Girl.
Child, listen. I respect teachers. I already respected them, right? But I really, really respect them because my 6-year-old, I love this boy. When I tell you I love this boy more than I could ever put into words. But when it comes to schoolwork,
You ain't set up like that.
And he ain't set up like that either. He's like, what you mean I gotta read? Why I gotta do that? Why don't you just read it for me? Like, what you mean I gotta click on the answer?
Why can't you give me the answer?
So I be getting frustrated. Like, dude, like, what's going on, man? Like, you know this. Like, why are you sitting there crying? He crying. I'm like, Lord. And okay, Caleb, let's do this, Caleb. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. Conquer your fear. And when I tell you, when that boy read that book to me, he was so proud of himself. After all the tears and everything, he was so proud of himself. He read the whole book. And as he kept going, and he realized he was getting the words right, and he started putting in those exclamation points. I am not Sam I am. I do not like green eggs. I'm like, I know that's right. You better put them exclamation points in there. You better put them in there. So he got through that
punctuation.
He got through that book, and he's just a cheese. And of course, I'm cheering him on, like, oh, Caleb, I know you did it. You read that book, boy. You better read that book. You better read them words. I know you know them words. You see what you do when you conquer your fear, you get through your tears, and you keep going. See what happens? He's just nodding his head.
You gotta teach him at a young age.
Yes, ma'am. Like, yes. And it felt so good to see him so proud of himself.
Yes.
You know, conquering that fear of like, oh my gosh, this is a new word. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. You know, nah, Caleb, it's okay to cry.
It is.
And that's what I told him each time he cried. It's okay to cry.
Mm-hmm.
And feel like, darn it, it's hard.
Yes.
It's okay.
If you're going to cry, get it out. Just get back up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. As long as you get back up and keep going, you can do it. You always can. So I hope y'all know that out there. This hasn't been going on very long. Let's see, this is like 11 minutes, which is fine. This is a good, acceptable, time limit for it being my first one. Yeah, this ain't bad. This ain't bad.
No.
Not bad at all. Yeah, that was the other part. Okay, so how fear holds us back. So again, fear, we know how to conquer it, but when we don't conquer it, or when we let it defeat us,
we get stuck.
Yeah. Basically, I can think of and it's not even like big things. I can think of like trips, that I literally paid my money to go. And then because of whatever happened, like, oh, shoot, man, I can't do that. Let me not go. Literally talk myself out of things.
Talk yourself out of something
out of a trip
that you
I already paid for. Already paid in full. Hotel room ready and everything. Didn't even go.
Airplane, flight.
Ready to go.
Airplane, hotel.
Well, I was going to drive. So it was no flight. But hotel, everything. Good. All I gotta do is get in my car and go, but well, dang, this happened. Dang, now this person isn't going. Like, dang, do I really want to drive by myself? Nah, man, I ain't gonna go. And I reached out to the people like, can I get my money back? Oh, I'm sorry, it's too late. So literally, I lost
your money. You should have went.
I know. I feel real stupid. I ain't gonna lie. I feel real dumb.
Well, don't feel stupid. It's a learning lesson. That was a learning lesson. We don't like losing money. We don't just give money away now.
Right. And then
but that's what fear can do.
It can. It have you missing out, because then I'm looking on Facebook and looking at the other people that went like, dang it, they had so much fun. I had my little outfits for the little party, everything ready. Child, listen, didn't even go. Like, dang it, look at me. I literally talked myself out of a good time.
Yeah, you did.
Because of really creating fear.
You had created these scenarios in your mind.
Exactly.
And it kept you.
Exactly. Well, what if this happens? Oh, wait, no, if that happens, then what? Then that's going to happen. And then, oh my God, that's going to happen. And oh my God, now I'm going to die.
We all know. We all actually had this conversation yesterday in the car. Right. I can go from...
Oh, Lord, this girl, we in the car driving. We went to go get something, whatever we did. We in the car. Her daughter is in the back. Amaya is 15. So we're coming up to a yellow light. Amaya's in the back. Go. This one talking about No, Amaya, that's not how you drive. You're supposed to slow down at a yellow light. And Amaya, of course, she's not driving like that yet, you know. No, Mom, you can go. You can still go. No, Amaya, because what if you go, and then what if I get a phone call, and police are knocking on my door? I would hate to get that phone call that you've been in a horrible accident, and then what am I going to do if you die? Like, this, she went from like
0 to 100, just like that. I'm telling you. In a matter of what? Maybe 2 minutes?
Maybe 2 minutes. And we said, like, dang, girl, she don't even have a permit yet. Like, you
got real morbid real quick.
Very fast.
But, you know, along the lines of fear, when you have experienced so much tragedy in life, you tend to build up these walls and you build up these fears and you conjure up these things in your mind. Okay, well, what if this happens? For instance, my mom unfortunately had a brain aneurysm 3 years ago. I remember being a little kid and always thinking, oh my God, what if something happens to my mom? Because it was always just me and my mom. When my stepdad came into the picture and when he left, I said, if she leaves, if something happens, I'm by myself. Oh my God, I'm going to go into foster care. So it's crazy as a child that I have always had these fears. I conjured these fears in my mind for whatever reason. I don't know where it came from. I don't know where it stems from. But when something finally did happen to my mom, that was devastating. It was crushing. Mm-hmm. So now it's like, okay, I have my daughter. If something happens to her, if something happens to me, those fears come up again. You have to learn how to control those thoughts. Right. And when you get those negative thoughts, you have to push them out. Is it easy? Absolutely not. That's a battle I fight with every day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Same thing, you know, with my mom. She passed away this year, it'll be 4 years ago. Same thing. Even though I was like, you know, independent, quote unquote independent, you know, living on my own apartment and stuff. But I depend on my mom for a lot. Yeah. Now, we definitely had our issues for sure. We butted heads like crazy. And a lot of it was just me just end up just shutting up and just letting her fuss or whatever the case may be. But I depended on her like a lot when it came to like helping me with my older son mainly, not my younger one as much because he was, you know, little when she passed away. But with my older one, came to a lot of stuff with taking care of him and like figuring out what I'm supposed to do with him. Cause like sometimes I'll be like, I have no business being somebody's mother. Like seriously, I should not be raising people.
I get it.
There should not be other like little people.
You should not be responsible for someone else's life right now. Like what do I do?
Because sometimes I feel like I'm still like that little 10-year-old girl, and then one of them comes and says, "Mommy, what's for dinner?" I'm like, "What? I don't know. What is for dinner? I don't know." You tell me, somebody help. That's how I feel sometimes, you know? So when she passed away, it was like, crap. Like I was, even now sometimes, especially when she's in my dreams, I wake up like, oh, well, let me call mommy and ask her. Like, dang it, I can't call mommy. Yeah. I can't call mommy. It sucks
when you, that backbone, that, I guess, matriarch that you have in your family is no longer around. Or like my mom now, it seems to be she's going into early onset dementia. I can't have a regular conversation with my mom anymore. I have to constantly redirect her in conversations and redirect her thoughts because her thoughts are even very morbid. Right. But when you don't have that, what do?
You get a backbone. You put your big girl panties on. I mean, that's what you've had to do because I've seen you with all you do with your mom, taking care of her, making sure her bills are paid, making sure she's being taken care of properly, going there early in the morning, going to work, and then going there after work,
going home, cooking dinner, cleaning, all that, taking care of Maya, make sure that she's good, she's mentally okay, and making sure her, she's doing okay in school, and still trying to maintain myself in all the negative thoughts and all the fearful thoughts that nobody else knows about, because a lot of times what do, we keep them to ourselves because we don't know who we can talk to about these kinds of things. Right. Because some people are like, ooh, she's a little out there. You don't want to talk to her, so you kind of shut yourself into this bubble with your fears.
Right, and I mean, that's pretty much what I do. Like, anybody that, actually knows me will be like, yeah, she ain't gonna tell you nothing. Mm-hmm. If she does, you literally gonna have to pull it out of her because she is not gonna talk. And literally, like, sometimes I was telling one of my friends, like, if you could be inside of my brain, you'd be like, girl, I need you to calm down.
Calm down.
Now, I'm super cool on the outside. It seems to the point I've learned to control my emotions so much where it seems like I don't feel anything. Like, a lot going on around me, and I can sit there with a straight face. Inside, it's not like that. But I've learned to just, like, just hold it together. Hold it together. You can deal with those emotions when you get home and you're by yourself. So it's like, I have those fears. I cover them up very well, and people think like, "Oh, you're so whatever." And people
always
tell
have
me
a
that
smile
sometimes.
on your face, and
bruh, nah.
I wear my emotions on my face. People can hear my voice, see my face, and like, oh Lord, what's wrong with her? What happened? Felicia? Who did it? Who did it, honey? Who did it? And I'm like, no, it's nothing. I'm fine. And I go, and I have certain people who I talk to. Nick has one of them. We've been friends for a long time. So if a certain amount of time goes by and I'm like, okay, I can't hold this in anymore. I need to talk to somebody. Let me call Nick.
Right. Yeah, it's hard for me to break even at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I will hold on to it until
for dear life. Like, I'm not going to let it go. And even I remember I was taking Xanax for a long time just because of anxiety and fear and not being able to sleep. And your mind is racing because you're thinking of 100 million things that could go wrong, right, instead of thinking about the 100 million things that could potentially go right.
Right.
So in order to shut my mind off, I was using this substance because I didn't want to think anymore. I literally felt like my thoughts were causing me to go crazy. I thought I was going to lose my mind. I thought I was going to have a psychotic break, and something had to give. So Xanax. Yeah. Until I came to the point where I was like, okay, wait a minute. This is not healthy. You know better.
Right.
You need to deal with this head on. You have whatever fears you have, in whatever area of your life, you have to deal with it.
Right.
Face it head
on.
Yeah,
I was doing the same thing. It wasn't with pills, but it was, gosh, I can't believe I'm actually going to tell this. It was with wine. Mm-hmm. So, at the time, I only had, my older son, Joseph, at the time. But, I was working at a bank. I was not making a lot of money. I didn't want to ask anybody for help. So I was literally struggling, like doing cash advances and stuff to make sure I had enough to cover the bills. And, once you do that, once you do that, you're pretty much in a hole. Yeah. You're digging yourself out. And I know I could have asked for help. I could have, but I didn't. I was fearful. Like, oh, they're going to think like I can't take care of myself. I can't take care of my child, and I can't, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, thank God I got through it and was able to get myself out of that hole. And I won't act like I did it by myself. I have family. I have friends that most definitely helped me along the way, for sure. My sister, my other friends definitely helped me. When I needed it and didn't want to ask for help. They're like, what do you need? Like, why are you acting like that? What do you need?
I don't need nothing.
So I'm always, forever grateful for that. But, a lot of it was like, oh crap. So I would when I had a little extra, I was getting not like a little bottle of wine. I was getting the big one. And I put it in the refrigerator. I come home, I drink a whole bottle.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't for long. It was for maybe a month or two.
Okay.
But it helped me to once Joseph was, had his dinner, homework was done, he's settled, he got his bath, he's in bed. I'm going to drink me some wine. And I'm going to just...
To woosah from the day.
Exactly.
And to calm those thoughts.
Exactly. Yeah. Calm my thoughts and it'll put me right to sleep.
Because when you're at that point, it's like, okay, I'm in this situation. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I'm up, down, left, right. So... to not think about any of that and to think about everything that could go wrong, let me just do this for right now and I will figure everything else at another time.
Exactly. And it was the same, like you said, I was like, crap, like, girl, you can't do this. You cannot be dependent on alcohol.
Exactly.
You don't want to become an alcoholic. You have a young child that's dependent on you. You cannot live that life.
Exactly.
So I'm thankful that it didn't last long. And I never, put myself or my son in any danger. It was always late at night.
When you're home and you're just going to go to sleep.
And I'm already in bed and I have my glass of wine next to me and, just drink the bottle. Sometimes I drink it right out of the bottle. Forget the glass.
Wow.
Drink it straight out the bottle. I was good with that as long as it put me to sleep and I didn't have to think about anything.
Yes.
Bills or, job or trying to be a mother. I didn't have to think about that stuff anymore. So that, was a difficult time. Even now talking about it, I feel like I want to cry.
Yes.
Okay. It was... I felt it coming up for a second. Push it down. Push it down. Push it down.
Suck it up. Suck it up. But again, like we said earlier, what did you say? It's okay to cry. Everybody has gone through things, currently going through things. Some people are going back to work next week. I'm one of them. Am I scared personally? No. But there's some people who haven't stopped going to work, who are essential workers.
Right.
It's okay.
Right. It's okay to fear that, you know, I mean, to have fear.
Yes.
As long as you're able to get through it. You know, a lot of it for me was remembering. It's so funny how, like, when you become an adult, you start remembering, like, especially for somebody like me who's a pastor's kid, you start remembering all these Bible verses and all these sayings that the old people used to say, or that your mom used to tell me, or you heard your grandmother say, be like, dang, she was right.
You don't want to listen. No. You don't want to listen.
Because you figure she don't know nothing. She old. What she know?
And I realize that now a lot of times, like I'm explaining certain things to my daughter, and I'm like, she's not going to get it until she's older. And It doesn't matter what I say, how I say it, how I fix it. She's going to have to learn on her own. And as much as we don't want them to have to learn how we did, that's just the way it's going to be. And they have to do what we did.
Yeah, exactly. Because now I'm 37. Now it's like, dang it, Mommy was right.
Yeah.
Dang it, Daddy was right. They was
you
right.
You just figured out at 37? It took you to 37?
No, I'm just saying. This is the thing.
Wait a minute
at
now.
This age now. It hasn't just now started happening. But
like, wait a minute. We got to talk about this.
Yeah, it's like, dang, they were right. So then I start thinking of these, you know, different things and that, you know, conversations me and whoever, me and my mom, me and my grandmother, whoever had. And, you know, it's like, you know, she told you you were this and you were that. And I'm talking about positive things. And you, because of fear or because of self-doubt, whatever, it's like, oh, she don't know. I'm like, no, I'm not that. I'm not that. Even me doing this podcast, I remember my mom one time, even one of my teachers was like, oh, you should be in broadcast journalism. You have a nice voice. Yeah. And the thought of me being on TV is like terrifying. The fact that I'm doing videos right now.
Petrified.
Is like amazing because I don't want to be seen. I don't need my face on TV. Like, I don't need none of that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time my cousin posted a picture of us and she has a lot of Facebook friends. Hey, Shauna, girl. So like the picture had gotten like over 100 likes and I call her like, that's a lot of likes. Like, who look at this picture? I don't need everybody seeing me.
Take it down.
Take it down. You know, that's how I am. But, you know, me doing the videos and me, you know, doing this podcast is like a big thing for me. I remember my mom, that's what I was saying, girl. Lost my train of thought.
We have so many thoughts.
My mom was like, oh, you know, because I was talking about a friend or something that was coming to me with problems or something like that. She's like, well, you know what? There's a reason people come to you with problems. It's not just because you're a listening ear or because they think you have advice, but, you know, well, yeah, because they think you have good advice or whatever. But, you know, use that gift that God gave you. She would always say that. Use your gifts. Use your gifts. That's the Holy Spirit. That's the Holy Spirit talking to you. Because I'll be talking about my dream, girl. I told you about my dream. My dream becoming true. When I tell you true, like exactly the scene and everything.
So all I'm going to say on that is if you have a dream about me, make sure it's a good one. Thank you.
I remember, not all of them, but some of them, if I have it once, I don't pay attention to it for the most part. If I have it twice, then it's like, okay.
You start paying more attention.
Yeah, then it's like, okay, something is happening. Because usually they do, 9 times out of 10, they come true. But anyway, she would always be like, oh, that's the Holy Spirit, blah, 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 you know, talking to you. And I'd be like, whatever, okay. All right, you know,
not
whatever.
Listening.
Yeah. But now as I'm older, it's like, dang it, she was right. I can do this.
Yes.
Like, yeah, girl, you can do a podcast. Why not? There's literally thousands of podcasts out there. Yep. There ain't nobody else scared of putting their voice out there. No. Even if it's 2 people listening. Why should you be scared?
That's where we were saying in the beginning, too. It's the audience. Like, how many people are you going to be able to get to listen to what you have to say? Like, is anybody going to care what I have to say? Is this going to be important to somebody? Right. But at the end of the day, if it touches one person, that's all that matters. Even me doing personal training. I'm looking at 40. It's looking at me. It's waving in the distance. Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? I see you. I can't wait. And I'm like, I'm almost 40. And I started my personal training journey back right before my mom got sick in 2017. And I just ran with it, and I loved how it made me feel. I knew that I would have to be stronger to be able to take care of her, not only physically, but doing personal training, doing bodybuilding and weightlifting. It not only strengthens the body, but it strengthens the mind.
That is true.
It really does. Because it takes a certain type of person to do that kind of, to be consistent and to be conditioned to do that. Not everybody's built like that.
Right.
And when it came time when people's like, oh my God, you look so good. You know, what do you do? And I'm like, okay, well, I'm a paralegal during the day, but, you know, after work or before work, I go to the gym and I train people. And like, I start getting more clients and I'm like, well, maybe I should do this. But then it's like, but there's other people out there too. What makes me so special?
Right.
Why do people want to come to me?
Right.
And then, of course, you get people who aren't as consistent, who come and go, and then your clientele goes down, and it's like, okay, well, I don't have anybody right now. So, and then you start to get discouraged, and then it's like, should I keep doing this? Should I even have started this in the first place? Investing in, whether it be a tire, business cards, any kind of paraphernalia to go with your business, and it's like, should I really be doing this? That's when that fear comes in. And even like being on social media, I've had social media. Did I post a lot? Absolutely not, because you don't want people to see. When you are a introvert.
Right. Like both of us are. Very
much so. It's even my daughter, she's an introvert and recluse. She can stay in her room for days to come out just to go to the bathroom and eat. And
Mine too. Sometimes I got to go in there like, you all right?
Yes, you got to check on her.
You okay here now? Okay now. Let me know.
Something.
A smoke signal, a white flag, something.
Like, Mom, I need you. But you don't want to be on social media. You don't want to put yourself out there because it's a fear of what other people are going to think of you. Because you see everybody else and it's like, we compare ourselves to other people.
Right.
Because of the society that we live in.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
All I can say is right.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly right.
But at the end of the day, and I can say this, but is it easy to follow? No. But who cares? Exactly. But in the back of our minds somewhere, we care a little bit because do you ever post something and then go back to see how many people liked it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just like, oh my God, do they like me?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We want people's approval.
Yeah.
But why though?
Right.
Why do we want people's approval?
We feel like, it's that thing of acceptance, I think. You know, you want to feel accepted by your peers or whoever you're exposing yourself to or putting yourself out there to.
You want people to see you. And you want to be noticed. And the fear of not being noticed is what keeps you from
being noticed. Ironically enough.
Light bulb.
You end up just basically setting your own self back, sitting in the corner because you're scared of people not seeing you, but you want them to see you. So you gotta pick a corner. You know what I'm saying? Pick a struggle.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, definitely the social media, I think that's a very good example. Very good, because I'm like, I done deleted Facebook, changed my name and all types of stuff to hide from people. Like, who is this? I don't even know
Facebook,
who I am.
If you are not one of my friends, you cannot find me on Facebook.
Exactly.
Even if you know my name and how I have it spelled with the periods, the dots, the spaces, you still can't find me because I have it set to private.
Right.
Because I'm not hiding. I don't know.
I was. That is crazy girl stalking me about her so-called man. Like, girl, he is not mine. Like, you can have him. So that's why I ended up deleting mine. But that's a whole other story.
But that's a different podcast.
A different episode, honey. A different episode. But yeah, I just made my page public today.
Facebook?
And I only did because, hey, Shauna girl, I'm gonna shout you out again. Because she did one of my head wraps and she posted a video. She has a public page and she has like a lot of people on there. And when she posted hers, I'm like, what the heck?
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to make mine public, and then when I post my stuff
and put the hashtags, and she got so many views
on Instagram or on Facebook.
On Facebook.
You put hashtags on Facebook?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they highlight them and you can click on it and it'll show you other people that put that same hashtag. See,
I'm
guys,
so green.
we're learning. The more you know.
Yeah, I did not know
Brought
that.
to you by Nice and
I thought it was just, TikTok and Instagram.
I told you I knew. But yeah, her doing that, I was getting some friend requests and stuff. So I'm like, let me go ahead and make it public and make sure all the videos are public so people can see them, because that is my purpose, is to make them public so that I'm going to redo a couple of them, because I was, the first couple videos was a struggle. We were struggling with the recording. But since somebody, showed me some things so I can...
some new technology.
Yes, I'm so excited about it. Girl, I'm editing everything. Here. I'm recording Caleb. Let me record you right quick and edit. Just so I can play around. I'm recording everything.
She even got me. I got me a selfie light coming. I'm stepping up my game.
I'm like, girl, we going to take pictures for your page.
Yeah.
Have you looking good and get you some more clients.
Am I scared? I am absolutely terrified. Terrified.
Yeah, but hey, listen, you did it.
That's true.
It doesn't matter. If nobody picks you up as a trainer, you did it. Being around people that are of the same mindset, not necessarily the same exact, goal as you, but are of the same move forward, let's do it, let's conquer our fears type of mindset is so helpful. Like Felicia said, I've been holding off on recording for like a month. I had planned to have an episode recorded on March 1st.
Yes.
It is now May 24th.
Yes.
So, having that person, Felicia, are you going to do it? This is her talking to me. Are you going to do it? Like, we're going to do it, right? We're going to do it. You've been talking about it, so let's go ahead and do it. Like, you're not going to get sleepy. No, what do you mean you laying down? Get up.
Like, what are we doing? You said you wanted to do this. Like, if my friends are telling me they want to do something, just like I would expect them to push me in the same capacity, I'm going to do the same thing for them. If I see that they have a drive in is their passion, I'm going to push them. And if that's all I'm hearing, that's what you want to do, and it's positive, what you doing? Why are you sitting down?
Exactly.
Or why are we not doing that? Have you written in your book? Like when she came to Orlando a couple weeks ago. Did you bring your book? Why didn't you bring your book? I thought we were doing a podcast. What are we doing? What do you mean you're tired now? What do you mean you're leaving? We were supposed to do a podcast. Like, we're trying to get this done. So you gotta, like attracts like, and you have to surround yourself with people who are, I guess, goal-oriented. And
yeah, definitely. Goal-oriented.
And not just always negative Nancy's and just going down unfavorable paths. You don't want to surround yourself with people like that, because they're not going to help build you up and lift you up and help with your goals.
Right.
What you're trying to do.
And I remember this analogy that my dad used. My dad was like on point with the analogies and the metaphors, which is, I think, where I get it from, because I love me a good metaphor or analogy. Yes. But he used to, I forget what exactly the sermon was about, but one of the examples he would use, and maybe it was about fear, but, if an eagle is down on the ground pecking on the ground with chickens, you like, eagle, like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. Like, why are you down here? But if the eagle doesn't know he's an eagle, he gonna keep pecking with the chickens. But if you know you're an eagle, hey chicken, hey, I'm here if you need me, call me. You got my cell, but I'm gonna have to go up here in the sky where I belong.
Yes.
And that's what you gotta do at the end of the day. If you gotta soar, spread your wings, and if you're by yourself, because eagles are, solitary creatures for the most part, that's what you gotta do at the end of the day. You love everybody. That's never going to change.
Certain people go.
But sometimes you got to let them go. And that's kind of where I'm struggling right now.
Yeah.
Because I love people. I love people
at a distance, too. You love them at a distance?
Yeah, I love in the sense that, like, I don't like anybody I don't like to see people down. No. I don't like people to be, like, feel like they're defeated in any way. So I'm that person that's like, girl, come on. Dude, like, come on, you can do this. Like, keep going. Like, what are you doing? Come on, no, that ain't it. Yes. That ain't it. You better than that. That's
and you know the crazy part? We can do that for other people, but we don't do it for ourselves. When I tell you, I have, whether it had been you or another close friend, I am able to uplift other people. But when it comes to myself or certain situations I'm going through, it just doesn't come across the same. Like, I hear it. And while I'm saying this stuff, and you got that voice in the back of your head, like you talking to yourself too, and you're like, yeah, but you're not really. I guess
you're not there.
No.
It's easier. I don't know if this is a quote I heard. Yeah, easier said than done. but the hardest advice to take is your own.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, the hardest advice to take is your own, and that is so very true. But you know what, y'all? We gonna conquer fear.
Yes.
This is my first podcast episode.
Yes, she did it. My dog did it. Yes, she did.
So I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please, please, please leave me your feedback, whether it's good or bad. Just don't be cursing at me because I'm going to go in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Do that. Nah. Positive vibes only. We're here to uplift one another.
But yeah, I definitely want the feedback though, for sure. Whether it's good or bad. I got tough skin. That's a whole nother episode too as to why my skin is tough. But I can take just about anything verbally anyway. I can't take a punch. I ain't never been punched before. But
okay, we ain't trying to try now. No.
But verbal assaults, I can pretty much deal with. So yeah, definitely leave me your feedback. Again, this is Nija No. So I just want to leave with a verse that I refer to every time I start to feel anxious, whether it's about getting up for work in the morning, it's something small like that, whether it's about raising children, being a mother, whether it's about this podcast, anything, a verse that I always refer to is 2 Timothy 1:7, and it says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind."
Yes.
So I'm going to leave y'all with that. I hope y'all enjoy your day. Peace out.